Why is President Donald Trump cracking down on immigration? America is a nation of immigrants. So why is President Donald Trump so aggressive about border control? Is it a decision for security, economics, or just a political strategy? In 2018, Maria, a mother from Honduras, crossed the border into the United States with her 6-year-old daughter in hopes of finding a better life. But as soon as they reached the border, they were detained by border guards. Maria was separated from her daughter and taken to a detention center, while her daughter was transferred to a juvenile center. Images of children separated from their parents, crying in cold detention areas, shocked the public. The Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy has left thousands of families in similar situations. But why is he so determined to take such drastic measures? Donald Trump's immigration policy not only affects millions of immigrants, but also shapes the future of America in terms of security, economy, and politics. This is a controversial topic, affecting people's lives, international relations, and even presidential elections. Understanding the reasons behind these decisions will help us have a more comprehensive view of American politics and society. Do Donald Trump's immigration control measures really help protect America, or are they just a political strategy to attract voters? If immigration is tightened too much, will the U.S. economy be negatively affected? Is this a necessary solution or just a way to consolidate power? Main reasons for Donald Trump's tight control of immigrants. 1. National security reasons. Trump believes that many illegal immigrants can bring criminals, drugs, and terrorism risks. For example, the Trump administration has cited crimes committed by the MS-13 gang, a criminal organization originating from Central America. Tightening immigration helps the government control who is allowed into the United States, minimizing security risks. 2. Economic and labor reasons. Immigration increases the source of cheap labor, but also creates competition for American workers, especially low-income workers. Trump believes that restricting immigration will protect the jobs and wages of American citizens. Policies such as restricting work visas or increasing deportation of illegal immigrants are aimed at ensuring that Americans come first. 3. Cultural and social reasons. Some Americans are concerned that a large wave of immigration could change the traditional cultural identity of the United States. Trump emphasizes the America First view and wants to maintain American culture in a way that conservative voters want. Immigration control is a way to maintain social homogeneity and avoid cultural conflicts. 4. Political and electoral reasons. Trump's voters, especially conservatives, often want a tough immigration policy. Trump used immigration as a focus in his election campaigns, emphasizing his commitment to building a border wall and deporting illegal immigrants. This helped him gain support from loyal voters, especially in key states like Texas and Florida. Conclusion: from security to economics to politics, all contribute to Trump's tough immigration policy. But do these measures really bring long-term benefits to the United States, or are they just part of a political strategy? Real-life examples, scientific research, and personal stories to illustrate. 1. Real-life examples, zero-tolerance policy, and immigrant family separation. In 2018, the Trump administration implemented a zero-tolerance policy, which made anyone who illegally entered the United States subject to criminal prosecution. As a result, thousands of children were separated from their parents when they were detained at the border. Images of crying children behind bars shocked the public and created a wave of strong criticism of this policy. A 2019 report by the Migration Policy Institute, MPI, found that family separation did not significantly reduce the number of immigrants attempting to cross the border into the United States, but caused severe psychological effects on children. 2. Scientific research, immigration, and the impact on the U.S. economy. Many studies have shown that immigration does not reduce American employment, but on the contrary, it boosts the economy. A 2017 study by the Economic Policy Institute, EPI, found that immigrants contribute hundreds of billions of dollars to the U.S. GDP each year. The Pew Research Center also found that immigrants have higher rates of entrepreneurship than native-born Americans, helping to create jobs rather than take them away from Americans. However, Trump and his supporters argue that illegal immigration can reduce wages and job opportunities for native-born workers, especially those in the low-income bracket. Story 1. The entrepreneur who supports immigration control. Michael owns a construction company in Arizona. For years, he has hired both American and immigrant workers to work on his projects. However, he has found that many illegal immigrant workers are willing to work for lower wages and do not demand the same benefits as American workers. This created unfair competition in the construction industry, as other companies used cheap immigrant labor to cut costs. Michael began to support Trump's hardline immigration policies, which included tightening border controls and requiring companies to thoroughly check the work papers of their employees. "We need a fair and legal immigration system," he said. "Otherwise, businesses that follow the law will be disadvantaged by those who are willing to exploit illegal labor." Michael believes that Trump's policies will not only protect American jobs, but also ensure that the labor market becomes more transparent and fair. Personal story 2. John, an American worker who supports Trump's immigration policies. John, a construction worker in Texas, had difficulty finding work because of declining wages. He believes the main reason is that illegal immigrants are willing to work for lower wages, which causes companies to hire them instead of native-born workers. John supports Trump's hardline immigration policies because he believes they will protect the jobs of American workers like him. "We don't hate immigrants," he says, "but we need a government that puts Americans first." Conclusion. Trump's immigration policies have very real human impacts. Families are being torn apart, American workers feel outcompeted, and there are scientific studies that show immigration can be economically beneficial. But ultimately, what is the best solution? What do you think? Real-life lessons and helpful tips. Donald Trump's immigration control policies show that immigration is not just a humanitarian issue, but also a security, economic, and political issue. It reminds us that every decision the government makes has far-reaching implications for the lives of millions of people. Practical lessons. For immigrants, it is important to understand the laws and policies of the country they are moving to avoid getting into trouble or being deported. For American workers, it is important to take an objective look at the impact of immigration on the job market, rather than seeing immigration as a threat. For governments, immigration policy needs to strike a balance between protecting borders and ensuring security, but also not losing the values of a country built by immigrants. Helpful tips. If you are an immigrant, learn about legal immigration programs instead of risking illegal crossings. If you are a business, follow labor laws and ensure that hiring is fair to both immigrants and native workers. If you are interested in politics, research immigration policies and their impacts before forming an opinion or voting in elections. Finally, immigration is a complex topic and requires understanding from many sides. What do you think about this issue? Share your views. America is a nation built by immigrants, but are strict controls really necessary to protect security and the economy? Or are they taking away from the country's core values? What do you think the ideal immigration policy should be? Tougher or more open? And most importantly, what is a fair solution for both immigrants and American citizens? If you find this topic interesting, don't forget to like to support, share to spread information, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next interesting content. Leave your opinion in the comments section. What do you think of Donald Trump's immigration policy? Let's discuss.